As an author, one of your worst fears might be a reader picking up your book and never finishing it. But why does this happen? Why do readers DNF a book? Today on Demystifying Self-Publishing, we're diving into the top reasons that readers give up on books, and most importantly, how you can avoid these pitfalls as the author. The dreaded DNF, or did not finish, can have a tremendous impact on an author, on their reputation, their reviews, book sales, and the likelihood that someone will recommend their book to a friend. So today we're going to identify some of these common reasons that readers abandon books and offer some tips so you can prevent it from happening to yours. The first reason that readers might DNF a book is because it has a slow or boring start. Many readers will DNF a book in the first 10 to 20 pages if the story doesn't grab their attention quickly. A slow or boring start can leave a bad impression. Readers have an expectation of instant gratification, something exciting or intriguing early on that pulls them in. If the first few pages are full of exposition or lack of any real action or conflict, readers might not stick around long enough to see the payoff. So how can we avoid this? Start with an action or mystery, or a compelling question that hooks the reader right away. Establish some of those stakes early. What does the protagonist stand to gain or lose? Setting the tone for the book, hinting at themes or emotions that will develop later, is a great way to pique curiosity and a desire to know what happens next. Another reason readers might DNF your book is because of weak or unrelatable characters. If the characters being introduced in those first 10 to 20 pages aren't engaging or complex or relatable, readers will struggle to connect and may lose interest. Characters who feel one-dimensional or are hard to empathize with can lead to impulsive DNF decisions. For example, if a reader can't connect with the protagonist or doesn't feel invested about what happens to them, it'll be extremely difficult for them to stay engaged with your story. So how can we avoid it? Ensure that your protagonist has clear goals that drive the plot. Give your characters depth, show their motivations, flaws, and growth potential. Use dialogue and internal thoughts to reveal their personality and make them feel real. Even if a character is unlikable or flawed, they can still be compelling enough to make a reader want to know what happens to them. Another reason that a reader may choose to DNF a book is because of an unclear plot or direction. A meandering plot without clear direction or purpose can confuse a reader and make them feel lost or disinterested. When the story lacks clear structure or goals, readers can struggle to feel engaged. If the story feels like it's going nowhere or there's no real stakes, readers might give up before they find out what the book is really about. So how do we overcome this obstacle? Plan your plot carefully. Ensure there's a clear story arc, central conflict, and a resolution. Make sure there's a balance between action and tension, and of course, character development to keep the plot moving and the pages turning. Similarly, if your plot is too complex, you could end up overwhelming readers with too many subplots or twists that are unclear and don't seem purposeful. Something else that could lead to a DNF, the overuse of cliches or tropes. It's really easy for a reader to feel bored or frustrated with overly used cliches or predictable tropes. This can make your book feel unoriginal. While tropes aren't inherently bad, when used poorly, they can cause readers to disengage. An example of this would be a romance novel where two characters fall in love despite obvious red flags, or a mystery or thriller where the villain is too obvious and leaves readers feeling disappointed. A way to avoid this is by not relying too heavily on tired or overused tropes, and instead finding ways to subvert or twist them to surprise and engage your readers. Bringing a fresh perspective or new twists to familiar tropes keeps them feeling interesting. Even if you are using a common trope, like the enemies to lovers arc, make sure your characters' personalities or the plot developments make it feel fresh and engaging for the reader. Pacing is another issue that can cause readers to DNF a book. If a book moves too slowly or too quickly. Readers may feel bored or overwhelmed and choose not to continue reading the book. Books that drag with too many descriptive passages or scenes without conflict can feel really difficult to get through. On the other hand, scenes that rush through important events or that don't give readers enough time to emotionally connect can also result in a DNF. To avoid this, vary your pacing. Make slow and reflective moments with high-tension chapters. Balance descriptive writing with dialogue to keep the story moving forward. Ensure that every scene drives either the plot or the character development forward. A substantial flaw that can lead to a reader DNFing your book: poor editing or technical issues. Typos, grammatical errors, and inconsistencies in the text can break a reader's immersion and cause them to stop reading. A book that feels unpolished or unprofessional can leave a reader feeling extremely frustrated. Nothing pulls a reader out of a story faster than a character's name changing halfway through. So how can we avoid this? Invest in professional editing, read your book through multiple times, or better yet, have somebody trusted read it through as well. Sometimes when you've spent too long on a project, things like typos or grammatical errors become easily overlooked. That's why a fresh set of eyes can make all the difference. To recap, readers DNF books for a variety of reasons, but the most common ones are slow starts, weak characters, unclear plots, pacing issues, and technical flaws. The good news is by addressing these areas, you can make your book more engaging and improve your chances of retaining readers. If you found this video to be helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, turn on post notifications, and download your free guide to self-publishing. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!